What's going on, everybody? My name is David Delano. This is Rockets Daily, brought to you by FanArch. Thanks so much for being here for another episode of Rockets Daily. Appreciate all the comments. Go ahead and subscribe so that you're locked in every time we drop an episode. This one's going to be a little bit short and sweet. Obviously, last couple days we've been talking about some things changing, of course, and some yesterday I talked about. If you didn't check out yesterday's episode, go check it out. I talked about why the Rockets will stop the rain in Houston. The rain that the Astros and the Texans and this Fred VanVleet injury has been causing, and why it's going to be an exciting season. So go back and watch that episode. But today we're going to go ahead and I talked a little bit about how the odds have shifted in the NBA for some of these futures, and we're going to talk about some of the individual awards that may have some value, and where I think about that with this news with Fred likely being out for the season. So let's go ahead and dive into some things here with this episode of Rockets Daily, and we're going to start with. Before we even get into the awards odds, just one quick thing that has already changed. We talked about opening day. Yes, the betting odds are already out for the opener against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rockets opened up as a 6.5 point underdog. Right now it is up to 7.5. And it looks like that could increase a bit. But so Rockets a 7.5 point favorite. I'm sorry. Rockets a 7.5 point underdog. Thunder are the favorite. Rockets are a 7.5 point underdog on opening night. So due to the news, it changed 6.5 to 7.5. But one place that I do think, if you're someone who likes to play futures, and what are futures, if you're not someone who's really into the sports betting lingo, basically when you're betting on something that's going to happen in the future that gives you odds. So for example, almost anything. But we're going to look at the NBA Coach of the Year, and got Ime Udoka right now with the fourth most likely odds. And I think that with this injury to Fred VanVleet, it actually makes Ime a better play on this. You got Jamal Mosley, the favorite, at plus 400. Quinn Snyder, second, at plus 550. You've got David Adelman at plus 700. Then you got Udoka at plus 750. Mitch Johnson is fifth at plus 1,000. But I think at the plus 750, out of all of these that I'm going to go over today, I think Udoka might be the best play there, because the fact that I think that I was thinking it was going to be hard for Udoka to get Coach of the Year, just due to the expectations being so high. I mean, a lot of guys, and I'm not blaming you, a lot of guys were, and it could still happen, who knows, but a lot of guys were thinking that this team is going to win more than 60 games this year. Well, if there's so many people that thinks that your team should win more than 60 games, it's going to be really hard to win Coach of the Year, right? Because if you win 60 games, that's what you're supposed to do. Unless you really, really just have the best record in NBA history, or best record by far in the league, it's going to be hard to get Coach of the Year. Well, now, obviously, didn't want this to happen, and I know he doesn't care about the fact that the odds are changing for due to this injury. But with Fred VanVleet out now, I think it makes Coach Udoka a more likely candidate to actually win this Coach of the Year honor, because now the team, even before training camp, you've got some adversity. People are counting the Rockets out. So there are expectations, if this team doesn't fall off, or you see the same type of, even the same record as last year, he could get Coach of the Year, because the outlook's definitely taken a hit overall with this injury. And I know that we talked about the season win total and all that, and I'm going to go ahead actually and check here live for you guys. So right now on DraftKings, Rockets season win total is 53.5. You got minus 105 to the over. That means basically you got to risk $105 to profit 100. You got minus 120 to the under. So you got to risk a little bit more on the to win 100 on the under, which means that it's a slight tilt towards the odds makers thinking that the Rockets are going to win less than 53.5. So they have the Rockets at about projected to win about 53 games. Prior to this, the Rockets were projected to win about 55, 56 games. So you're seeing about a 3 game difference due to the Fred VanVleet, 2 to 3 game difference. Now, it is worth noting that you've got the Oklahoma City Thunder a season win total at 62.5 with a little bit of juice on the towards the under. You've got the Cleveland Cavaliers here season win total. Who cares? I'm just trying to compare. Cleveland Cavaliers season win total at about 56.5. So Rockets really projected here right with the right in the exact same place as the Denver Nuggets and New York Knicks also with the 53.5. So market right now as the Rockets right there with the Nuggets and the Knicks, although the Nuggets, as far as regular season wins, as far as the Nuggets go, though, of course, the Nuggets do have slightly better odds, according to the sports books, as far as winning the NBA championship. Defensive Player of the Year, Amin Thompson might be one of the best value plays out there you could make. He's at plus 1,600, which as far back as he is, he's third best odds, third most likely odds. But that's $100 wager, profit you $1,600 in profit if he takes the award home. Victor Wembanyama is first at minus 165. So you got to risk $165 to win 100 with Wemby. Chet Holmgren second at plus 650. Now the thing why with Victor it's kind of crazy. I mean, we saw last year he got injured, right? I mean, you're putting it all on one guy. He misses some games, doesn't play enough games. I believe you got to play. What is it? 66 games. Just drawing a blank here to win the awards. It might be 60, but there's a chance that could happen. He's not eligible for it. Even with Chet, but I think with especially with the with the news, I think Thompson. I mean, plus 1650, right there. You got Anthony Davis next, reigning defensive player of the year. Evan Mobley, number 5 at plus 2,000. I think probably don't want to give it to Mobley again, but I think Thompson and Mobley definitely undervalued. Most improved player. You've got the award for Amin Thompson. They're expecting a lot out of him. Second best odds to win most improved player. Unlike some of these other categories, though, these odds are all over the place. Because really anybody could win this award, but he's second at plus 1,000. Reed Shepard on the list at plus 3,000 for most improved player. So those are just some things that I wanted to point out. And then you got the Clutch Player Award. Currently sitting in a good position, fourth most likely to win the. Fourth most likely. There's 3 guys tied with the best odds to win Clutch Player of the Award. Jalen Brunson, along with Luka, Anthony Edwards, and then you've got Kevin Durant. Fourth. Drink some water here. Got Kevin Durant fourth at plus 1,200. You've got Jokic is going to be tied with Durant for odds. You got Trae Young, Darius Garland, and Steph Curry right under that, along with Donovan Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox. So Kevin Durant up there, high value there, but up there in the odds for Clutch Player Award, and he's definitely going to be in a position to do that. Now, next thing here, and I definitely want you guys to let me know in the comments. I want to do just a little bit of a check on how you guys are doing, how your well-being is. get just a little bit of a pulse of the Rockets fans. No matter where you are, whether you're Turkey, whether you're in Houston, it doesn't matter. Um, I think that this is one of those things. There's so much excitement built up for training camp and so much excitement for the opener. Now, are we going to see that same energy? Is it one of those things that it happened so early? I feel like it happened. I mean, you knew Durant. There was excitement about Durant, excitement about this roster. But, really before any events, before any preseason games, it'll be interesting to see what the excitement is like. I definitely think that this has sucked a little bit of energy out of what we're going into. But let me know where you guys are. Are you still feeling as optimistic? Are you a little bit down? Are you still on the road to recovery? Let's know. I just want to know where you guys are at, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to our history here. All right, we got the 2013-2014 Rockets season, which was my partial, season ticket season with for the Rockets. So that Dwight Howard was acquired in the off season. So you had the combo there with Dwight Howard and James Harden. This was a fun team to watch. I enjoyed watching this team play, but very, very man. I mean, it was first round, but really a devastating, exciting playoff series, but devastating playoff series loss. But we had the 54-28. Rockets were fourth in the Western Conference that season. And this season got off to a, as far as how things got rolling to start off with here, got off to a nice 13-5 start. Before things got a little bit bumpier, but overall, team was fairly steady throughout the season. San Antonio Spurs won the Southwest Division with a 62-20 record, and when you're looking at the West as a whole, 3 games behind the Clippers for the third seed, and just edged out the Portland Trailblazers, who had the same record as us. Portland was the 5th seed. During the regular season, James Harden led the way, 25.4 points per game. Dwight Howard, 18.3 points per game, 12.2 rebounds. You had Chandler Parsons, 16.6 points per game. Terrence Jones with 12.1 points per game. Patrick Beverley, 10.2. And actually missed Jeremy Lin there with 12.5 points per game. So this overall was a fun Rockets team to watch. And first round series took on the Portland Trailblazers and lost that series in 6 games. That was definitely felt like a classic. I mean, obviously, there's, as far as it for Rockets, as far as for people, as far as like recent Rockets history, right? Like as far as that, a lot of people can really recall. That was a classic series. Dwight Howard in that series, hats off to him. 26 points per game, 13.7 rebounds per game. And he had James Harden average 26.8 points per game, shot 90% from the free throw line, but just under 30% from three-point range and just 37.6% from the field for James Harden in that series. So Rockets lost the first 2 games of the series in Houston, 122-120 in game 1. Dropped game 2, went back to win game 3. They had when I talk about classic series, with even this being 6 games, you had 3 overtime games in this series. Rockets only won 1 of them. Rockets won basically with the risk of falling behind 3-0, won in overtime, lost the next game in overtime. Rockets came back to Houston, won game 5, and then you had Dame Lillard with that confusion on the inbound pass, drilling the 3 for the Game 6, 99-98 win for the Portland Trailblazers. So that was that 2013-2014 season, and you look as far as things creeping up 3-point wise, getting crazy. League average for threes that season across the NBA was 21.5 threes per game. And this, era Rockets basketball really started changing that wave as the Rockets led, as far as increasing things, Rockets led the NBA in 3-point attempts that year, 26.6 3-pointers per game for the Rockets that season, which led the NBA, and also made 9.5 per game, which led the NBA as well, even though the Rockets were 15th in 3-point percentage. So Rockets leading the way as far as the wave for 3-point attempts. And obviously we'll get into where that is now. But interesting enough, the Golden State Warriors were 7th that year in 3-point attempts. So it's been Rockets Daily. Thanks so much for watching. I'll let you guys know in advance tomorrow. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. We'll talk to you guys later. God bless and be safe out there.